Everyone, and welcome back to an all-new episode of Video and Arcade Brothers. We've been gone for I think 2 or 3 weeks, and we're back. Due to some illness, everyone's had plans, so we had to postpone the show for a little while. But we're back, and of course, this podcast is all about talking about video, games, and collectibles.
Come on, bro. Sorry, buddy.
It's all right. We're rusty. It works out. That's no problem.
Shit. It's been 2 weeks.
It's been a while. So we're starting to get that. So yeah, basically this is a podcast we do with, of course, my two hosts here, Josh from CarrHero. Hi, Josh. How's it going, buddy?
Hello. I'm doing good. Good to be back. Good to be here.
Nice.
I'm back.
And we also got Rick down there. Rick, how's it going today, buddy?
Great. How's it going?
How's
everybody out there? I'm ready for this.
Everyone's getting out there. So we've had a pretty interesting week. A lot of information has come out. We got the PlayStation Showcase that happened, which we're going to be talking about that as well. But first, like what we have planned is we're going to go through our topics all together, which we're going to start with movies. Or I should say video. It can be TV, it can be movies, it can be anything you want. We're going to be talking about that first. Then we're going to go into games. And then we're going to finish tonight's episode with our picks for the collectors. You got a bunch of cool collector news coming out as well. And like I said, we're going to jump into this right away. And I'm going to start first with our pick for the movies. Now, this past week, we've got a lot of awesome trailers. We got a trailer for a live-action movie, and we also got a trailer for an animated movie that I've been dying to, see. And it's actually based on a video game. It is the DC Universe's Injustice, and you might have played the game for PS3 or PS4. It came out for both, and there's been 2 installments of Injustice: Gods Among Us. And this game story, basically the Joker kills Lois Lane and turns Superman into a bad dictator who is trying to keep the world controlled, as he is, of course, the son of Krypton. And, he's the all-powerful god. And being such a huge property of DC Universe, and this game that was created by the same company that, of course, handles Mortal Kombat, and they done such an amazing job at making this game so good, so much fun to play, and always has, that nice feeling. There's a lot of, awesome fighting games out there, but I think we don't really have that great of comic book fighting games. We have Marvel, who does the Marvel vs. Capcom games, which, they're great, but I would really prefer to have it be, an all Marvel game, have a whole roster of Marvel characters, and that's exactly what Injustice is. Injustice, it takes just the DC Universe, and it has its crazy, DLC characters like Mortal Kombat that end up showing up in the game, but yeah, this movie is just exactly like the game. So if you play the game, you know what's going to be happening in this movie. Though I'm sure there is some surprises in this movie that we're going to we're going to find out. And it's releasing this year, which is pretty good. We need some great stuff this year to keep us going until the Christmas time. Have any of you guys seen the trailer for the movie?
I have not watched the trailer. I saw that you shared that there is an Injustice movie coming. Is it theater release?
No, this is just Blu-ray or
Okay.
streaming service. My God, I'm losing my.
Yeah. No, that's okay. Yeah, I haven't watched the trailer yet. It does intrigue me. Obviously, I played Injustice. I didn't play through the whole story of Injustice, but I mean, when you have a fighting game, I'm a big MK fan. So when you have the same developers making a game with superheroes, I mean, isn't there to love about that? So the fact that they're able to spin off, I mean, Mortal Kombat, they have animated movies for that. So if they can spin off onto the Injustice series, why not? I mean, all the rave is superheroes now. So you might as well take advantage. You have a property like that, and you can watch your favorite superheroes kick each other's ass.
Damn straight.
Who isn't in on that, right?
It's definitely one of the
what
best
else
things.
is there?
It's one of the best things about superhero movies is seeing your favorite heroes and villains beat the shit out of each other. It's great. But yeah, it's honestly like, with the DC universe, they have a lot. Like Warner Brothers is very good at bringing their animated films to the audience, whereas something like with Marvel, we got the What If series, but they haven't really pushed their side of animation for a while. We had the 90s were the greatest because you had the Spider-Man series, you had the X-Men series, and you had a lot of different shows throughout the time. But they have such rich stories that they could make feature-length films, but for some reason they don't do it. And that's where DC has been like killing it with the animated movies. They're constantly making money. They are well written. They're based off of all the different graphic novels and stories of the past. So there's really something that's Warner Brothers is doing right with their animation department, which I think that's every company who has the ability to make cartoon cartoon features. They really need to pay attention to the detail that Warner Brothers has put into this. They actually put a lot of love and dedication into their animated films, which is really great. And I think I think with Marvel and stuff, I would like to see them really push forward. There's a lot of great stories. Like we finally got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is a fantastic film, and we're gonna get a sequel to that very soon. And I want to see them push the envelope for their animation department, just like they have with their films. What do you guys think?
You know what? Like, it's a good point. Sorry, I don't mean to just jump in on you there, Danny, but it's a good point. Like, aside from comics, obviously that's where the roots are, but that's drawn.
Yeah.
But then your next step was, like you said, we grew up with the cartoons,
Yep.
right? So why are we shying away? I know everyone wants live action, and it's fine. And live action is great. But if there's market, why wouldn't there be a market for animated bigger ticket movies in the same universes? And like you said, perfect example, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I can't get enough of that movie. I've watched it countless times. And the weird part about that movie is people didn't go see it. People aren't attracted to it because some reason it's just like it's animated, it's for kids.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it doesn't have that aspect where a kid wouldn't enjoy that movie, but it treads the line where it's like I can be a full-fledged adult and enjoy the heck out of that movie. And like I took it to my parents' house and I made them watch it and they liked it. So
there you go. See,
I've talked to so many of my friends that just haven't watched that movie because it's just like, oh, is that the animated one? I'm like, why does that pull you away? And especially in our era where we grew up in, that's what we knew. That's what our superheroes were, animation.
But see, that's what you mean. That's where you're right, though, is that because it's animation, people assume that animation is just for kids, when animation can be good or better than the live action films. That's what
it's limitless, man. And that's where Spider-Man and Spider-Verse. And I know you were talking about Injustice. I don't mean to keep pulling Spider-Man into it, but like. That's the best Spider-Man movie in my opinion because you could just Spider-Man can do crazy things.
Yeah.
You're and I know CGI and everything is a big part of what we see today.
Yeah.
So it opens the window. But I mean, when you animate, you can just do anything. And with these superheroes, there's no limit. There, you don't have to be worried about a human being trying to do something because I just have to draw it.
Yep.
So there's so much potential. I know DC does dark animation. Like so they have adult cartoons, adult animation shows. I've never really dove into them, but I know it's there, and it's like R-rated cartoons because they're dropping F-bombs and stuff, which is super cool that they have that. But again, it's stuck to streaming services and whatnot, where it's not like you can't pull in as big of an audience, right? So
it definitely it definitely shows that there is an audience for rated R animation and films. Absolutely. But we're gonna move on. Oh, go ahead, Rick.
Oh, sorry. Like even like the like Pixar movies, like a lot of it's aimed for kids, but a lot of adults like those kind of movies too, right?
Exactly. They always stick in the adult humor. They got to know. You got to know there's gonna be an adult going.
Oh, for sure.
Stick it in because I'm gonna bring my kid. I also have to enjoy the movie, so they know. I'd love to see him dive in. It's cool that Injustice is going to do something because it could be darker at the same time as well. I don't know which way they're going to go. I haven't seen the trailer, so whether it's going to be like aimed towards the adults or if it's going to be tread that line doesn't really matter to me. I think it's great to see them want to tread into that territory with that property. And like you said, DC, why not? Why wouldn't they? They're doing well on the animation side. Why wouldn't they just go ahead and take a shot at it? Especially you pull in the MK fans and the comic book fans of DC, and then you mash them up, right? So
like why not cash it? Yeah, like why not cash in on the game, right? Because the game was the Injustice games were pretty big, so
100%.
They did very well. So why not? Why not do some animation on it, right? So
welcome D Money to the chat. And she says, "I feel like you almost get so much more out of it being an adult watching it." And that is very true, though. We catch more than a kid would, right?
Yeah, you pick up more stuff
because you look at movies like and we're getting off topic, but you look at movies like Shrek, and it's just like there is so much adult comedy in that movie, and a kid, me even being younger at the time, did not catch it. And you watch Shrek now, and
it just passes over.
Oh my God, this is. There are so many adult jokes in here, and it's even more enjoyable as an adult because it's like as if they're hiding this from the kids. Because the kids don't even realize it's there, right? So
it's hiding in plain sight is what's happening. All right, let's get on to the next one. Rick, do you want to take it away with your movie talk?
I'm going to talk about the new trailer that got dropped this week. It's a sci-fi franchise, probably one of the biggest sci-fi movies of all time. I'm going to talk about the Matrix trailer. So this week we got a trailer for the Matrix, and it looks fucking fantastic.
I'm excited he's back.
I love
guys. I'm sorry. I'm slacking.
That's all right. Yeah.
You've been a busy man.
You've been a busy guy.
Yeah, you've been a busy man.
Oh yes, go ahead, Rick. I want to hear about it.
Yeah. No, this trailer looks amazing. I think. For the looks of it, they're erasing continuity from the second and third films, so they're kind of going the reboot way, but they're gonna include the original, so it's gonna probably be like a sequel to the first movie.
So they're that's good for me.
Yeah,
I've only seen the first one.
For me. Oh, you only seen the first one?
I've only seen the first Matrix, and that was like. It was probably like 8 months ago. I watched it for the first time, and my mind was blown.
Oh wow! Oh shit!
I'm behind the game of Matrix. I want to watch the next couple, but the first one just blew my mind. I'm just like, it can't get better than this. Do I need to watch 2 and 3? But
I think you should watch 2 and 3. 2 is really good. I really like 2. The third film, it's not bad. There's parts that I would have changed, but it's still a good film to watch. It definitely is. It takes the first one and like intensifies the craziness. It's really good too.
Well, the thing too, it gets kind of confusing. Like if you watch 2 and 3, like if you watch both those films, you'll get kind of confused by the end of the third. You'll be like, what the hell's going on? Like it looks cool. Like there's a lot of cool like sci-fi moments, a lot of big fight scenes and cool like when they're facing when they go inside the Matrix and all the. Well, I won't spoil the ending, but you haven't seen it, right? So, but yeah, check it out. But no, this movie, the new movie looks like it's gonna erase 2 and 3 out of the continuity.
Okay.
That's what I read from Synopsis. So that's
good to know.
that's what they're saying. So yeah, so you see from the trailer, like it shows Neo. He's a little bit older. He actually looks like he just like Keanu Reeves just stepped off of John Wick.
Yeah, it looks
he
like
has his long hair. He has his beard.
Okay.
So and then you see the only person, almost the whole cast came back from the original franchise, from the the first 3. The only person that didn't come back was Lawrence Fishburne. He didn't come back.
Okay.
And the guy, Hugo Weaving, that played Red Skull and Marvel Universe, he as Mr. Smith, he's not coming back. So he's not coming back. So you see the agents back, and you see a couple really cool moments. You see Neo project a missile in midair, and it's going into the helicopter.
Oh, I can get down with that.
Yeah,
it looks really cool.
You need to see the trailer, man. It looks pretty awesome. The effects and stuff, and the way that they're going with the story, it definitely looks like it's going to be I think it might be the best out of them. If it can, I was going to say if it can beat the original, that'd be really, really, great. I think Matrix disappeared for a while. Of course, I actually can't remember when the last movie came out. I think it was in 2006 or something.
No, I think it was earlier than that.
Was it 2004?
I think it was 2003, 2002 or 2003. I think was the last one.
Yeah, it's been a while. No, because wait, 1999 came out the first one.
Yeah.
2003. 2003.
2003 is the last one. Yeah.
So it's been a while since we've seen Keanu Reeves jump back into the role of Neo, and of course Trinity's back. It looks awesome. Like a lot of people were blown away by the trailer.
It looks incredible. It looks good.
The scenes look awesome and stuff.
I think the resurgence of Keanu Reeves is like it's got to be a big factor of them wanting to bring it back. I mean, I'm sure there's always been talks with how big that Matrix franchise was. Like I remember when it came out and everyone was talking about the Matrix, and obviously I was way behind in seeing it, but I still saw it. I understand the hype, and I understand why people love the Matrix as much as they do. That movie was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like 2003 has been the last one. Like we're looking at like 18 years now.
Yeah,
between movies. So John Wick. That's crazy. John Wick, like. It resurged his career in my opinion. He had stuff in between but it's just like he's blown up with John Wick. So they had to look at that and be like, we can bring this back because everyone loves Keanu Reeves now. Well, everyone always has, but it's just like the resurgence through John Wick. It's just like they had to pull from that and be like, we got to bring him in for this because Matrix would have sold on its own anyways. But the fact that now there's even a bigger Keanu audience because of John Wick, they're like, we may as well cash grab the heck out of this. Well, they're obviously going to, I would hope they make a good movie out of it. It's not just a cash grab, but they obviously get the opportunity at what the fan base of just Keanu Reeves and then the fan base of the Matrix, and they come together, and now you got like a massive blockbuster, right? So
they definitely have a lot to prove, especially after 18 years. To see if the audience is still going to be there to see these characters. To see what happens to their characters, but it definitely does look like an awesome movie. And when does that one release, Rick?
I believe in December 22.
Oh, okay.
This year.
It's releasing this year.
This year.
Christmas lineup this year is looking crazy, man. Like
comes out a week after Spider-Man No Way Home comes out.
And then you got like the Kingsman coming out that week too. I don't know if you guys are fans of that franchise and stuff, but I saw the trailer for that, and it's like a prequel to the Kingsman movies, which have been awesome. And that lineup around Christmas is looking wild. Obviously, with things being the way they have been the past year and a half, now I feel like they're just like. It's almost like too many movies happening at once now. What are we gonna do? Go big Christmas break, everyone to the movie theater.
Oh yeah,
what it is. It's like all the movies got crushed into the year, right? So because of last year being screwed up and having to delay everything's now things are getting better around us. So everything's starting to cram in there. We still got Ghostbusters, we got Venom, we got James Bond, we got so many different movies coming out the next 3 months that, like you said, Josh, it's going to be a busy year at the theater. That's for sure.
Good. That's what we need. We need to be back.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting for it. Baby.
I know. It feels so good to be back in the theater and seeing it live, seeing a nice movie on the big screen and the best sound possible.
I'm going to say it now. We better not go into a goddamn lockdown because I want to see Spider-Man. I want to see Spider-Man.
Well, you got to stop all the parties going on at the university, buddy.
God damn it! All right. I'm gonna lose my shit if that gets pushed.
No, we don't want to see you lose your shit, Ben. All right, Josh, take it away with your movie news of the week.
Okay. So I'll segue off that. Obviously, being able to go back to the theaters and see some movies. My wife and I'm gonna go back a few weeks. I know we try and stay kind of current here, but I'm gonna go back a few weeks. We talked about video games and movies. Yeah. So I thought it was fitting that I went and saw Free Guy. I don't know if it's still in theaters anymore because it was in the theater for a little bit, but as video game fans, I would recommend it to people. I think it was a cool movie. But what I did kind of want to talk about, I don't know if you want to pop it on the screen, Danny, if you haven't already.
Bam.
You got it up there, perfect. The way they marketed this movie, as someone who took marketing in school, I get excited when things are marketed well, and I know, Danny, you get excited about commercials and stuff too, like those 90s style commercials, the way used to be, the way they used to advertise back in the day. But I really can appreciate the way Free Guy tried to pull in a video game audience. And Danny has them on the screen. You look at these posters that they came out with, and as someone, and it's the nostalgia, it's pulling on current games too, but you got Animal Crossing, you got Among Us, which are Animal Crossing is not recent, but in terms of recent popularity within the last 2 years, obviously it came out on the Switch. You got exactly. Among Us, which blew up, and then you got Minecraft, which is current, and now when if the kids saw a Minecraft poster for Free Guy, they're like, Mom, Dad, I've got to go see this movie. Look at it, it's Minecraft. You got GTA, you got Doom. You got Streets of Rage. I know we're big fans of Streets of Rage.
Oh, yeah.
You got Super Mario 64, and then you got the original Mega Man covers. So they used all the cover art from these games and turned them into like a Free Guy movie promo, and they did a fantastic job, which I just thought was super cool, and I really appreciated that. Now what's kind of crazy, and I'm not going to spoil the movie because I know it's more fresh. And did you guys see it?
I haven't seen it yet, so I really want to see this movie.
I'll tread lightly, but it's crazy because you market it the way they did, and again, I appreciate the heck out of it. Yeah. But the movie itself did not have a lot of Easter eggs. So when I saw those types of posters, I was just like, oh man, they are gonna pull from so many different video games. Yeah. And it's like that Ready Player One feel, obviously, but that's the story of Ready Player One, so I understand. But at the same time, I know I'm kind of critiquing, they marketed it this way. I went and saw the movie and I didn't see any of that. Mm-hmm. I can appreciate that they did that in the movie as well, because to take a video game concept movie, because the plot of the movie is Ryan Reynolds' character, Free Guy, is a AI character in a video game who eventually his AI becomes so smart that he starts to figure out, I can do my own thing, right? And he starts to figure out that what's going on around him, okay? Yeah. So they had this massive video game world, but they made it their own. And I can appreciate that with so much material to pull from, and Free Guy able to stay original and not pull from those material and come up with a concept and just stick to their own way. And it's like an open world type of game, like a GTA style. They came out with so many of their own little ideas, and you could be like, oh, they got that from GTA, they got that from Fallout, they got that from wherever. They didn't directly. It's not like, oh, that's from GTA, oh, that's from Fallout. Everything was original. There is a couple Easter eggs that happen. Mm-hmm. They're super funny and super cool, but they do not rely on Easter eggs, which in the way it was marketed, like when Danny brought up those posters, I was like, they're going to pull so many Easter eggs out of everywhere, and I was excited for that. But then I left the movie being like, that was really cool that they didn't use any of that stuff and they stayed original. They stayed to their own idea, and it got good reviews, man. Like the audience liked it. Ryan Reynolds, it will be Ryan Reynolds, and like I know he's a similar kind of character in all his movies, but everyone loves him, and he does a great job in this movie. It's very good. Recommend it if you haven't seen it when it becomes available on whatever streaming service, because I don't think it's in theater anymore. But I just kind of want to talk about that because the marketing side of things is it was really cool. Yeah, and those posters are all awesome.
Well, so it's like you said, Josh. Like I'm a huge fan of classic marketing. I still watch commercials from the '90s. Like I follow the this one channel on Instagram, and they post classic commercials that I used to see as a kid from Nintendo, Sega, and the marketing that they did back in those years, that was marketing. That was how to market your property. Nowadays, we don't have that. You know, we have a couple of stuff pop up on the internet. You know, you got some stuff showing up on your news feed on the different social sites and social media, but it doesn't have that same feel. And seeing that, like, this marketing for Free Guy, like it's such an awesome, touch to showcase this movie. Even though, like you said, it didn't have any, Easter eggs in the film, but you don't really need to. We know that it's based, it's based in a video game. It's enough to welcome not only new fans but us as well as gamers, right? So.
So I understand why they marketed it that way, because you're a video game movie, but then to like not use it, it's kind of genius to me, because I wasn't, at the same time, I wasn't disappointed that stuff wasn't in the movie, even though they marketed with it. It pulls you in, and then you still enjoy the movie for what it is. I think it's pretty genius that they were able to pull off, because you could have had some pissed off people just like, man, all these posters, you're telling me you like classic games, Mega Man, Doom, Super Mario World, Super Mario 64, and you're just like, and if they pull these in, this is going to be bananas, right? And then they don't use it, and I still walk out of them and I'm like, that was a good movie. Where you could have pissed people off, but it worked. It pulled me in, and I still loved the movie. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, and like I said, it's one movie that I definitely have to go and see, or if it's out of theaters, I gotta wait until it releases, and then I'll see it. I
definitely watch it.
Yeah, I definitely will, because I love those types of films. They definitely make. Not only is Ron Reynolds just hilarious, and he makes every movie entertaining, and he has like a new one coming with The Rock and Gal Gadot that looks really awesome. So I'm excited.
Canadian icon, man. He's a Canadian icon. It's crazy.
Icon, exactly. I'm excited to see what the future holds for his career, and and to see what's next for if they're planning to do a Free Guy 2 or something else. That we'll have to wait and see. But what were you gonna say, Rick?
Oh, sorry. No, I was gonna say, hey, Josh, is there a I don't want you to say, but is there a cameo of somebody that shows up in there? Is Hugh Jackman in that movie?
No, there is a cameo of. Yeah, I know where you're getting at, because they have a little rivalry.
They have that little.
There is a cameo of someone else that does show up. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not even going to tell you where he comes from, but it is it's iconic. So I'll leave it at that. It's a cool little thing that they do, and it's just a quick little side thing that will make you laugh, and they do a good job with it. So again, they do, like, it's very minimal in terms of Easter eggs. The few that they do pull in there they do a really good job, and it'll make you laugh. So
all right, makes me more excited to watch it.
There we go. My pick for Free Guy.
Perfect.
Yeah, it looks awesome, actually. It looks really good. I like how he marketed that film. Like he really did a good job of marketing that movie.
Yeah.
He marketed the shit out of that movie.
He's a self-promoter like crazy, right? So he does a good job.
Yeah, he definitely does love to self-promote his movies, and it's great. It's great because that shows that he actually has love and thing for the movies that he's in.
Passionate about it, right? So
so he has that passion, which is perfect. But we should get moving, or else we're gonna run out of time for stuff. Let's jump into our gaming news, and of course, like I said, this week we got our first showcase from PlayStation, which was announced that we were going to get it after E3. Why it didn't show up for E3? Maybe I'm guessing they didn't have stuff to show at that time period. So they did what Nintendo does with its directs. It decided to jump in there and give us a show showcasing what's coming not only this year but for the future of PlayStation 5. And we got some big announcements. We got a couple of remastering of games. One game which we were talking about before our show went live, which I think really didn't need an updating to it since it came last for the PS4. Doesn't really make any sense, but that's Uncharted 4. As much as I love Uncharted, I really don't think it needed another remastered version of it. But that's coming out. Alan Wake, which is originally an Xbox exclusive game, is coming for the PS5. And it looks beautiful. That is another remake that looks really well done. It actually looks like a brand new game. Like it looks really, really great. I hope it plays great. That's one that I have not played yet, but I'm definitely going to pick that game up. We got a couple of other announcements, but I want to leave it for Rick for his thing. But I'm going to talk about the game that I'm interested in.
I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk about the game that actually intrigued me, and this was one of the first games that it showed on the showcase, and it is none other than Project Eve. Now, this game looks like a cross between Final Fantasy and Devil May Cry Bayonetta style, and of course it's with a female lead, and basically we don't know much of the story so far. We know that it deals with machines and different abilities and techniques that she uses. Boy, it looks beautiful. It looks fluent. One thing about it too, which was lacking from the PlayStation library, was games that are marketed more towards an Asian market, which this game definitely is. Now we saw that with this direct. That definitely they're looking into making the PlayStation 5 just as popular in Japan as it is with the rest of the world, but of course with the Japanese community, they have different interests in what games they like to see, and this one is definitely catering to that. And like I said, it's a hack and slash. It looks, from what we know, it's a hack and slash game, and it's beautiful. Like I was saying, the animation looks great, the lighting looks awesome. They definitely need to market this one more. I think this could be a big game if they market it properly. And you guys saw the showcase. What did you guys think?
Go ahead, Rick.
Alrighty. No, it looks really good. It looks really cool. I like how I like original ideas, so I like something new, of course. I mean, you always get sequels and stuff, and this is it looks pretty cool. Like it looks pretty original, and I love the. It looks like it's aimed for the Japanese players, so
it definitely is.
I think it's gonna do well in Japan. She looks kind of cool. She looks like Bayonetta, so it kind of has that same style. It kind of looks like even like Devil May Cry. If you guys are fans of those games, but
it definitely,
the hack and slash style
definitely has little bits and pieces of a few different games mixed in.
I'm looking at it now, Danny, just because I didn't catch the whole showcase, so I missed this, and I'm just kind of scrolling through Twitter as we're on here, just seeing some clips. That looks fresh, dude. Like,
it looks cool.
That looks really good, and like you're saying, you got Bayonetta, and you said Final Fantasy. And it looks like it's not like your turn-based Final Fantasy. This is more like action. No. Like you're pulling from like No More Heroes. I know you're playing that right now on your channel, Danny. Like Astral Chain, Bayonetta, like any of those, like you said, hack and slash, and those are always a great time. Time the perfect dodge and be able to combo the crap out of some of the, like this villain this boss battle I'm watching right now, it just looks wild with this like alien looking creature, right? So the visuals, like you said, the lighting, and that's the power of the PS5, I guess, like that ray tracing that they have and those new lighting effects, like looks gorgeous. And I don't play a ton of these action hack and slash type of games, but just off the first look here, it looks really good. So I can see why you're excited for this, and I know you're into that type of market too, Danny, like that Japanese style game.
Yeah.
So I can feel your hype through the screen. That looks dope, and I'm not usually one to get like sucked in by these games. That looks sick.
Yeah. Well, you've seen me play on the channel. You've seen me play Bayonetta and a few other action oriented. You've seen me play No More Heroes 3 and stuff, and those games are definitely something that we grew up with in the 90s. There was a whole bunch of hack and slash games, side scrolling fighting games, which that's of course where Streets of Rage comes in, Final Fight, all those good stuff. So this game is definitely a nod to the audience that grew up in that time period, and it's a genre that definitely needs some much needed love to come back. With Streets of Rage 4, people got the thing that they missed that type of game, so and it was very successful, and I'm sure we'll see a 5 come out sometime soon. But this game definitely has potential. Whether it's going to keep the Project Eve name or if it's going to change it, I think eventually it might. I think that's probably just like a placeholder. I think that we will get a different name for the game, but from what I've seen so far, it looks fabulous, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. I would play a demo right now if they sent it out.
Anything just to go off your point there, Danny, with like Streets of Rage and like those side scrollers, like, and I know this is 3D perspective in terms of the style game. Anything you kind of button mash to, it makes it easier to play, and obviously it's deeper than button mashing, but someone who maybe doesn't want to get that deep can still button mash and still have a good time. Like Bayonetta and Astral Chain myself, those were games I never really tried out, and then I got them when they came to the Switch, and it's just it's a little mindless, and you can just go in and have a good time, right? So, and I feel like there's massive potential here with that, and it's going to be way deeper than just button mashing. But you're going to be able to have that audience that can just slam down a controller and beat the crap out of something, right? Yeah.
And she looks badass. Like D-Money87 says that she absolutely, and she loves her a badass female character. And to be honest, I do too. I'm finding nowadays most of the games that I love playing have a real badass female lead character. Even with Tomb Raider, Lara Croft has been one of my favorite video game characters. Of course, Bayonetta is my all-time favorite video game character too. But there's something about I find that for some reason female characters are more interesting to me than the male counterparts. I'm guessing it's because we've seen so many male.
That's what I was just about to say, Danny.
I think we all feel that same thing too, right?
It's nice that you're starting to see more of it, and you have you go back to Bayonetta 1 and stuff like that. I'm sure there's been female along the way, but you're starting to see more and more and more. And even a game like Astral Chain, before the game starts, I can pick a female lead. You look at Ratchet and Clank, new one, Rift Apart. I know the character plays the exact same as Ratchet, but you got a female character in there, and you gotta love that it's what they should be doing. They should have done it a long time ago. It's great that the female leads are starting to happen because they deserve it. And when you can make games look even more badass and it's a female character, you're gonna get all the fanboys too. They get real excited when it's a good-looking female, right? So
I'm not gonna lie.
You get all the art, and you get all the art. It's crazy, okay?
That's why he wants to buy the game anyway.
See, I have I can say that she is very attractive, but that's not making me want to buy the game. It's because it actually looks really good. But let's move on to our next little bit. You want to take it away, Rick?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about
this one's gonna be a shock, guys.
Let's talk about Superman. That's Superman game, guys. Oh yeah.
I didn't know Superman was announced. Woo.
Yeah. No, we're gonna talk about the a little trailer that got dropped in the PlayStation showcase that I'm freaking excited for.
Oh, the Suicide Squad, you mean, right? That game?
No. No, Spider-Man 2 got announced, and why is it coming out in 2023? come on,
okay
man.
I'm okay with that because it gives me more time to get a PS5 now. Okay,
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
take the time, and now I know what system I'm getting, but now I can wait for the games to come out. I'm cool with that. But yeah, I understand your excitement. Like it's tough to wait 2 years for a game, but yeah, go ahead, Rick.
Well, I'm kind of glad it's actually going to take a little while, so they can, build up on it. Make it an absolute. Because the first game, I love the first game. I played both games actually. I played Spider-Man and I played Miles Morales. Enjoyed them both. Miles Morales was a bit short, in my opinion, but still an amazing game. Hopefully, I think this game I think is going to be much bigger than Miles Morales. I think Miles Morales was kind of an expansion of the first game, which it kind of was. It was not as long as the first game, but still a good game. But yeah, this game you get you get a voiceover over the trailer, which I think is going to be Craven.
Yeah, that's
they're going to introduce villain Craven.
Thinking, yeah.
And of course, you get Spider-Man in there. You get him in the iron spider suits, and you got Miles Morales doing his little tricks and using his lightning, and it looks kind of cool because I think you're gonna be able to play both of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're gonna be having an option to decide which one you're gonna play, or they're gonna do it like story wise, where you play a little bit of Miles and then play as Spider-Man. So I think that's how they're gonna do it.
I would. Sorry, Rick. Just to go off of that Miles Spider-Man stuff, and I know I just previously talked about Astral Chain. Yeah. So Astral Chain did something cool and introduced where you could control almost 2 characters at one time.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we could do that with Spider-Man and Miles, like with Peter and Miles. Yeah. But I think it would be super cool if there's going to be times where you can legitimately switch between the characters in a what's the word I'm looking for? In a mission. So in a mission, if you have both of them, and one's obviously AI, but if I could just do a switch between the two, and then you could start comboing, like whether you use Miles' electric power, and then all of a sudden you switch over to Peter, and then you can use it. There's a ton of possibility here that is a lot to be excited about, because
that would be pretty cool.
The first 2 games were flawless. I know you mentioned the shortness of Miles Morales.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the shorter game. It's easier for me to squeeze that in my weekends in an adult life. So like 10 to 15 hour games, that's a sweet spot for me. I finished Miles Morales. I didn't finish the first Spider-Man just because of the size of the game. But I understand people want you want a big experience with that style of game. So I get it. But I loved Miles Morales, and just how different
the game is awesome.
As much as it's Spider-Man, he plays different from Spider-Man. So and sorry, Rick, I didn't mean to cut you off. So
no worries, no worries, buddy. Oh yeah, and then at the end of the trailer, you get Venom actually. So they're bringing in Venom. So I'm really excited about that.
Think you're gonna be able to play as him?
I don't know. I don't.
He's gonna be a villain.
So. I think he's gonna be the villain. I would love to play him because I remember in the old the Ultimate Spider-Man game back
Super Nintendo.
No, this is I think PS3 or I think
this was the PS3 Wii era.
Yeah, but I know which game you're talking about.
Nintendo side scroll beat 'em up where you could be Venom or Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was such a good game.
So like I was like, oh, I'm gonna get to be Venom again, but.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we can play Venom, but I don't think so. But we'll see. We'll see when it comes up. But I know they're.
Right, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, buddy. They're bringing. They're gonna get the guy that does the guy that was Candyman actually. In the original Candyman, and he's voicing Venom. So I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he has a perfect voice for Venom. His voice, is already deep enough as it is and very iconic. But in the trailer, him voicing Venom is just
it was good. It was good.
So
I love when it goes. I love when it just goes into the little alleyway and it goes black and you don't see him and it just pops out of nowhere.
I know. They did a good job. No. And like I know you're saying we might not get to play as Venom. We don't know, obviously. But it could totally, obviously, with them introducing Wolverine as well in that PlayStation Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what they're gonna do next? So like you introduce Venom as a character in a Spider-Man movie. We know Venom is like that in between where he could be a villain, he could be a good guy. He's fighting himself.
Yeah.
where who knows what this Spider-Man 2, does it go into the next game? Would it be just a Venom game, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
I'm sure people would love to play as Venom, man. Like,
Yeah.
you'd have I know you might not swing around as much as you do with Spider-Man, but you'd have that ability with what he has, right? So so much potential, obviously. But you look at the cinematic universes. Now you start bringing them into games and what you can do and branch off with. And I have all the faith in Insomniac with what they've done with their games for a long time. So it's going to be a banger. Like, I can't wait. Like that, it's automatic. That showcase, that Spider-Man game and that Wolverine game. That's it. Like, that's PS5 for me next gen. Like,
there we go. Yeah.
It definitely has that push to get people to buy those games, because those are exclusive, guys. You're not going to see that on PC or anywhere else. You have to, if you want to play these games, you're going to need the PlayStation 5.
When Insomniac is making the game, so and I think they've done an amazing job. Like, I don't know what once new Josh gets a PS5, you should try Ratchet and Clank, the mini game. Oh, it's an awesome game, man.
That would be the game I would buy first, to be honest, just because I grew up on Ratchet and Clank, and so I played the one on PS4 when they remastered it. So Rift Apart was like that made me want to get a PS5. I wasn't going to buy a PS5 for one game, but I know if I get a PS5, I'm going to get Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
So
it's a good game, like a really good game. I think, and they're not even like you were saying earlier, they're not sleeping. Like, I mean, they made Spider-Man, they made Miles. Ratchet and Clank just came out now.
Insomniac, no sleep. Insomniac, Insomnia, it's Insomniac, right? So
they're definitely on a roll, and they're running with it, man. And they should.
For them,
it's good to see them get more recognition. But let's jump onto it. Josh, take it away, buddy. What you got for us this week?
I'm gonna take a pivot. I know you guys were on the PlayStation stuff, but you guys, I know we mentioned in like our first episode, I'm kind of the sports guy, and so I get upset a little bit with this one, so I might get a little bit fired up. But
beautiful.
I love it. Gotta go, baby.
I'm gonna refer to some notes here too, just because I wrote down some stuff because I didn't want to miss anything. So NHL, EA Sports, EA Sports in general, I have beef with, but NHL recently, and I know we're going because again we were supposed to have a show, so I'm holding on to some of the news that I wanted to talk about. So NHL upcoming release, and they're coming out to the current, well, I'm gonna say the last gen and the new gen. So here we go. We're in that divide where there's no cross-play, and people are gonna have it on two different systems. So you're losing some of the market already. But NHL. I was a big NHL gamer. NHL, I don't know. You can go out like I had NHL
95 years and years, buddy.
Yeah,
but like I got an Xbox 360 back in the day, and every year it was just like NHL 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, all the way. I literally bought every NHL day one until I think it was NHL 18. And I just watched the game just not do anything year after year. At the beginning, like 09, 10, and then like the online started to pick up, and I got competitive. Like I had a couple buddies and a cousin that we would jump into the EA Sports Hockey League, and you each played player, and it was a ton of fun. We had so much fun. A massive amount of hours played into the NHL series. I loved it. I was exclusively a sports gamer for a long time. Like, and then they start to EA does what EA does, and I'll get into that as I kind of talk here. But the teaser trailer comes out, okay? And legitimately it's like, and it's fine, it's a teaser. I get it, but it's literally like 10 seconds, and it's just a camera going over the ice, and it's just like okay, it's ice.
That's it,
that's the teaser.
That's a tease, baby.
We're teasing to like, next trailer coming soon, okay? And I'm like, I have a couple buddies message me, and they're just like, "Oh, did you see that?" And I'm just like, "It was ice." Like, okay, it looked good. It looked good. It looked like ice. Like after that, the ice looked like a hockey arena ice. That's good. That's a good.
Did it look
start.
Good? Did it look really good?
It looks like
good
ice.
It's like you could do that. It's animation. At the end of the day, I could make it look like ice, right? Like you get someone else. It does not even part of the like. It's not. It could not even be gameplay footage. It's just literally like, let's do some cinematics.
Yeah.
Then it was like a week later, maybe. they dropped their gameplay trailer. So this is where I get more interested, and I don't care as much about NHL franchise anymore, so I don't like right on it. But I was kind of like intrigued because I'm like, okay, new gen, let's see what they're gonna do. So drop the gameplay trailer, and this is the first year that they're adding the Frostbite engine to NHL.
Okay.
That in itself is a complete joke to me as like an NHL franchise because it's only available on the PS5 and Xbox Series, the new ones.
Yeah,
okay.
Series X.
X and S. So Frostbite engine has been available for the past 5 years in FIFA and Madden.
Yeah.
On the last gen, PS4, Xbox One. We've had Frostbite, and then NHL gets no love. Okay. So now they finally add Frostbite, and it's only on the new system. Now,
really?
Don't have it yet. Don't have the new systems and want to get it for a PS4. Stuck playing the old game again because it's just going to be copy paste because that's what EA does anyways.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's part about this. It's a gameplay trailer. For 5 minutes, this trailer is 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, it's in my notes. Hold on. There was.
Take your time.
There was 34 seconds of gameplay in their gameplay trailer that was 5 minutes long.
34 seconds?
So it was like,
really
added the Frostbite engine. And they'd show like the players and their eyes moving and then like the crowd. And it's like, oh, look at the crowd. And then they'd have like clips. So then it'd be like clips of the actual gameplay, which as someone who wants to play the game, that's what I want to see. I don't get it. You're adding this new feature and talk about it. But let's see it. Let's see it in action. 5 minutes of them talking about Frostbite and presentation, and 34 seconds of gameplay clips. So we're going to talk about marketing again. We talked about marketing earlier in the show. This is complete trash, man. Like, and I don't want to take away from the game because there's potential that the game is actually going to be good. Me being a person who has played, like I said, those NHL games and those sporting games year after year after year and paid $80 price point on release, I got fed up. I was done because they're not doing anything. I'm going to start talking more about EA than just NHL because it was a massive disappointment. I know there's been more coming out after this trailer, but they lost me. I'm like, you guys hyped up a gameplay trailer and showed me 34 seconds of clips.
Yeah.
It's not even like, here's 34 straight seconds of gameplay. It's like, here's 2 seconds. Here's another 4 seconds. And then here's 5 seconds. So you're just getting like clips. And it didn't look a ton different, but obviously, graphically the game's okay. So it's just a matter of how the game feels, and I don't know how the game feels going through a trailer. So I'm not going to throw them under the bus that much. But there is just general when I'm talking about sporting games, there's just a huge disappointment, and I know FIFA fans are upset. I know Madden fans are upset. It's not just NHL. NHL is a smaller guy, so I understand why the Frostbite engine wasn't implemented as soon as FIFA and Madden because they make more money. Yeah. The fact it's taken as long as it has is a joke. And and the fact that you're still pissing off the people that you're making the money off of because EA has focused so much on the microtransactions of HUT and FUT or FOOT, whatever, and HUT, like all the Ultimate Team modes. It's just such a disappointment because it was so, like, going back, I had so much fun with that game, and the fact I haven't bought it for the past 4 years is crazy to me because I was, as a hockey guy, this jersey behind me won from EA Sports on Twitter because I was
look at that.
Yeah, so like it's so disappointing, but I wanted to get into a little bit of a chat of how there is a market here for sports games to go back to the arcade style. Because they have focused so much on simulation for so long, and people do want that simulation game style. As a sports fan, you do want that simulation game, but what happened to the FIFA streets? What happened to the NFL streets? What happened to NHL hits? Like, you look at games like Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, I'm having a ton of fun with those. There's a market where I don't need a serious sports game anymore. Drop a $50, $60 street arcade style game, and you know what, you put your microtransactions in those games too, but make us open card packs so we have players. I don't care, but like let's get the fun back in sports games
Mhm.
because it's not there anymore. And it's sad because, again, it's good for me because it weaned me away from sports games and I got to play other games that I had missed along the way. And I probably became a more variety gamer now because sports games have started to suck so much and I've realized it. But people I talk to still buy it, still buy FIFA, Madden, NHL, and bitch about it. And I'm just like, stop buying it. Because
they're supporting it.
They're supporting it, and they're never going to change. And you know what? It's working for them. I don't blame them. As a business, why would you change?
Yeah.
What I would like to see, which is never going to happen, is the sports game comes out every 2 years. And the in-between year, you give me a $30 roster update that I just pay $30 for. They put the roster in because that gives them a 2-year period to work on the game because 1 year is not enough. You drop the game in September.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me you're going to do enough by next September to make the game better?
Yeah.
How can you hear the fans out? Because by the time this game drops, you're already working on next year's game.
Yeah.
So like at least, and it's same thing with Assassin's Creed and Call of Duties and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Better to leave the window longer so you can improve the game more drastically. But they want the money, so they're going to keep releasing as quick as they can. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, man. Like it's just they want the money, and it's like we're not getting good games anymore.
Yeah,
and that's
that's what it is, though. Is that people are? It's because these people are still supporting the game. You know, like you said, we don't have very much variety in sports games anymore. Basically, the EA Sports are the only sports games you can buy now. If you want a serious, game, a serious sports game, that's all we have. Back in the earlier days, we had so many different ones we could choose from. And we have our fantasy ones, we have our realistic ones, and even realistic ones. We had a whole different variety of from different companies trying, getting into there, which is like you said. Now EA Sports is the only company who's making the sports games now.
Competition's gone, and it's because of EA. The competition's gone because they have so much money that once they see competition, they buy it. They say, you know what, like ESPN NFL 2K5, obviously made by 2K Studios, released at $30 back in the day, and it's regarded as one of the best football games ever. That year, EA bought the rights to the NFL so they could just keep making Madden. And then 2K couldn't do anything anymore because you know what? Why wouldn't I take the money? Yeah. Now EA has zero things to compete with. They buy all the licensing rights. They buy the exclusivity to the leagues. So now they can price point it at $80. No one else can do anything about it, and they can copy and paste it because there's no one to compete with.
Yeah.
And another example is, I know we're going to go long here, but another example is I played Super Mega Baseball 3 on my Switch. The most fun sports games I've had in a long time, and they had the perfect mix of arcade style and simulation style gameplay.
Yeah.
What happened this year? EA bought these guys.
Oh,
did they really?
It was like the biggest heartbreak for me because I loved this, and it was a baseball. And MLB The Show is a great game. Don't get me wrong; it's exclusive to PlayStation, though. Well, it came over to Xbox this year, so that's a lie. Yeah. But this game was so fun. I couldn't put it down on Switch. So I followed these guys because it was like an indie developer, and $60 for an indie game is a lot. Yeah. But it was like this very deep, unlicensed baseball game that was a ton of fun. You could just so much customization, everything. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, I'm following these guys on Twitter. On Twitter, they have this announcement that EA was purchasing them, and I was just like, "You got to be kidding me!" Here we go with another franchise gone, another franchise, and there's no way. I hope EA doesn't screw it up, but I have no faith in that. That's the problem. I have no faith in EA not screwing it up.
Yeah,
you could just screw the whole franchise. Even though there's a huge fan. The thing is, this game, Super Mega Baseball, had forums. And the developers of the game would go into the forums and take the requests from the fans, and they would implement them into their games. EA's not going to do that.
No,
hell no.
They don't care.
They're going to copy them.
Indie developer versus AAA. And some good AAA developers will listen to the fan base, but when you're talking EA, man, I have zero faith. And like they do make good games, and when it comes they made the Star Wars game, they made It Takes Two. I don't know if you guys have played that. They've done some Unravel and stuff like that. EA's made some good stuff when it comes to the sports side, and it sucks because it's tainted their name. For me, it's tainted their name. Whenever I see EA on the cover, I'm like, oh no, here we go again.
Well, it's true though, because even myself, I'm trying to think of an EA game that I have, and the only thing I have is just I get one FIFA game per console. That's where I like, as long as I have one per console, I'm okay. I don't need to I don't get it yearly. And even for me, like most of the FIFA games I get are for the Switch, and even it's a downwashed game. It doesn't have all the main stuff that the the PS4, PS5, or the Xbox, have. But it's one of those things.
But it's like all the sports games nowadays. It's all copy and paste, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no fun to them anymore. You basically could just sit back and just watch it. It's almost like Josh is saying, like it's almost like a simulation. You could just sit back and just watch it. It's almost like you can watch it on TV, right? And
100%. It's sad though, because you got like Twitch and YouTubers and stuff that will promote these games, because you could like you said, they're watchable. I mean, if your user is going to shit on the game, the last thing you want them doing is playing on Twitch and raging at the game because the CPU, the last thing that they do is fix the AI in the game. They're a bunch of they're guys on pegs. You might as well be playing foosball when you're playing FIFA.
That's true though. That's true. Yeah, they definitely need to. There has to be another company who comes out there that doesn't sell to
make an unlicensed game, Danny. Like, this is what I'm trying to say is, like, Super Mega Baseball did it. Just make an unlicensed game, and if it's good enough, it's deep enough. It's hard because you're sports fans. I want to play as my favorite team. I want to play as the Blue Jays. I want to play as the Leafs, New Jersey Devils, whoever it be. And it's just, that's the tough part. When you don't have the licensing, you're not going to have as big of a pull. But if you make a good enough game that gets enough traction, then it doesn't matter, because I want to play a good hockey game. I want to play a good soccer game. Focus on the gameplay, and you know what? Maybe make it just an online exclusive game where you can play with everyone, and then that's how you spread the word. Look at like you could come out with a free sports game, Fortnite style, and just maybe let it blow up. Look at Rocket League. Look at Rocket League, right?
Hey, it blew up, right? So.
Yeah, and
anyway, I know we're going really long, and I'm ranting on you.
It's okay.
So
hey, no worries.
It works, man.
It's all good,
it gets
man.
the viewers knowing the love we have for EA. But yeah, I agree 100% though. But let's jump into our collectibles talk here. Since, like Josh says, we have gone over, but that's okay. We're gonna finish tonight's show. So for collectibles, I'm going to talk about something that brings the holiday season over, and we're going to talk about the Hallmark Christmas ornaments that have been announced this year. And I'm talking about two Christmas ornaments that I'm dying to get my hands on. And of course, they are from Sonic the Hedgehog and the 30th anniversary. We have one where Sonic is being carried by Tails, and then we have an exclusive of Knuckles holding one of his rings. And it's just, like I said, these little these Christmas ornaments are great, not only for putting on a Christmas tree, but they're great for collecting purposes. Like they're very detailed, ornaments that you can put behind glass and do displays with. And I'm very excited for them. That they both come out in October. October 2nd is the release date, and you can order them by doing their catalog, or you can go to the store and pick it up. But yeah, each is $24.99. But highly detailed, very collectible, yearly things. So if you don't buy it this year, you're not going to see it next year. They are highly collectible, and they go for a pretty good penny on eBay and stuff. So you guys want one of those, make sure you head to your Hallmark store around you on October 2nd. That is a release day if you're looking for those Sonic Christmas ornaments. I buy a bunch. Me and Josh already have picked up Christmas ornaments this year. So yeah, I'm definitely, I got mine pre-ordered. I got two of each because I want to have one open and one closed because they look so freaking awesome. But yeah, so guys, if you're interested in that, make sure you check Hallmark's website, and you can look over their catalog. There's a bunch of them. There's Mortal Kombat. There's Nintendo ones. There's lots of stuff to choose from. But of course, if you're a big Sonic fan like me, Josh, and even Rick, definitely check out those guys on October 2nd. Rick, take it away.
Crazy. It seems crazy to be like talking Christmas ornaments, and even like I picked up the Super Nintendo one back in like July, and it's just like it's kind of crazy, but at the same time, like you're saying, if you don't pick them up, then they're gone. Like with the Hallmark style, like the Hallmark video game, any other collection, they have the Star Wars collection, stuff like that. So I know it seems crazy to talk about Christmas if you're listening to this, but at the same time, if we're talking about collecting, Danny's not lying. Like if you don't pick these up on pre-order or when they hit the store shelves within the first week, it might be trouble finding it, and they won't be releasing next year because they release a whole new collection, right? So you'll be buying aftermarket at that point. So
like
Rick, go ahead, take it away. Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say, all I know, Josh, is that the Super Nintendo that we picked up is completely gone. It was gone.
It's gone.
It was gone that first week. So
wow,
yeah, if you guys don't go and pick that up right away, then you're shit out of luck. So make sure if you're interested in that, do pick that up, or else you're gonna be paying the inflation rate on eBay. I've already seen the Christmas ornaments go for like $200-$300. Make sure you guys check that out. But Rick, take it away. What do you got for us this week?
I'm gonna talk about some new Funko Pops that just are. I believe they got released either this week or last week. Gonna talk about the What If Pops that came out.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys don't know, there's a new Marvel animated series on Disney Plus. It's been airing for about 5 weeks now. And they finally released some new Funko Pops on them. And you got a couple of the characters. You got Captain America as a zombie. They recently did an episode where the Avengers are zombies, and they the whole episode centered on zombies. And I won't reveal anything if anybody hasn't seen the episode, but yeah. And then they released a couple. They have Captain America as a zombie. They have Spider-Man with Doctor Strange's cape on, which is kind of cool. Obviously, I'm gonna buy the Spider-Man one, of course. I'm not gonna buy all the Funko, like the What If Pops, but definitely gonna pick up the Spider-Man. They have you can also get the zombie Iron Man. They got Iron Man, they got Captain America, they got Spider-Man, of course.
Wanda.
Yeah, they got Wanda.
Yeah, they got Wanda. They got the zombie Falcon. They also got they got two Spider-Man. You can get there's a Hot Topic exclusive, which is the Zombie Hunter Spidey. It's in metallic, so I'm gonna definitely go buy Hot Topic and pick that up.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, so they recently released some pops on the animated series. I really enjoyed it. I've been watching the animated series on Disney Plus. Yeah, as a Marvel fan, so I'm watching that, and I really enjoy that series. So I'm gonna pick up the Spider-Man pops because I am a Spider-Man fan, so I'm gonna pick them up. So yeah, that's my topic for the week on collectibles.
Cool. That's the cool thing about Funko, eh? Like, no matter what you're a fan of, like whether it be new series, old series, there's a good chance that there's something out there that Funko has. So that's what makes Funko like so collectible. Is there's just so much to reach out to. If you even cereal and food and stuff like that now that they got, so it's just wild.
Got it
like,
all, yeah.
It's cool. So
yeah.
All right. Josh, take it away. What do you got for us this week, buddy?
Yeah, so yeah, I've over the past year, I kind of got into Lego. I never really grew up with Lego, to be honest. I don't know if you guys remember Connects. I had Connects growing up back in the day, but over the past year, I've gotten a few Lego items, and my wife actually started me off with the Nintendo Lego, the TV and NES and a little wind up.
So that was cool, yeah.
From there, which was a sick Lego thing to get started, and it was tough build, but it took like 10, 11 hours, but it's just so fun building them. And then from there, I kind of jumped into the Star Wars. They had Star Wars helmets, and so I got Vader and a Stormtrooper and Boba Fett. So they're really cool displayers. And then most recently they came out with, I'm gonna show this one off. They came out with I know you're the Marvel fan, but got the Infinity Gauntlet here, awesome. Which was a really cool build, and it's cool. It actually has like flexible fingers, so like
that's cool.
Make Thanos snap. You can also make Thanos give the finger if you really want to, but I don't know how happy Lego would be with that, but someone's gonna do it. But yeah, it was a super fun build, and these take about like 2 hours depending. And thing with Lego, it's expensive. Obviously, you look at the price tags and you're just like, well, why is it that much money? The one thing I'll say for this one, for example, this was like $100 Canadian. Okay, so you look at it and like it's not huge. It's a good display size. Like I mean, I'll put it like next to my head so you can kind of get a gauge of like how big it is.
It's like that was pretty big. Yeah.
So the thing with Lego, where I started to appreciate it is like, yeah, it's a lot of money, and you're just like, oh my god, all these it's just a bunch of plastic pieces making the displayer. The big thing is the booklet you get inside Lego. And is very cool. They have like details about how it was built, or the designer has some write-ups on it, and they'll have like some cool art, whether it be like like for the Infinity Gauntlet, there was just like a screen capture of Thanos from the movie, and a little write-up about Thanos. And then the way the instructions are laid out, man, like the amount of work that goes into engineering these things, and then how precise the instructions are to dummy proof it.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable the amount of work that goes on just other than putting this together. So when you're looking at these Lego prices, consider the amount of work that goes into the product itself, not just what you're using to build it, but everything that surrounds Lego. So that opened my eyes, especially like when one of my first builds is the Nintendo thing, which is a very big build. But like just how good the instructions were. So I kind of wanted to segue off that. I don't know if you got the screenshot for me, Danny, of the newest thing. But if you want to pop that up, perfect, buddy. Just announced like a couple days ago, and I know I have the Nintendo set, but they have the question mark box from Mario, or question mark block, whatever you want to call it, from Mario, and it kind of got teased as just the box one day. And we were like, oh, what's going to be in the box? And then the next day they came out with the video. And as you can see on the screen, it'll be on your right-hand side, it kind of folds out. So the top opens up and pops open. And then you have like 3 levels from Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
And they're a little like dumbed down. Like it's not like super detailed. But with that, it looks really cool the way they like did Mario. It's like 3 blocks, and it's like a red block, like a skin color block, and a blue block, and the skin color block has a mustache on it. So like it's like polygon style with which you look back to like the N64, and it's just like a bunch of polygons, right? So
that's awesome.
They did a really good job, and just to see like Peach's castle in like Lego form, it gives me hope that one day they are just going to release a Peach's castle and like a big awesome Peach's castle, because I mean you got like the Harry Potter stuff with Lego and whatnot. So, like, I'm hoping once Lego got those rights with Nintendo, I knew it wasn't just going to be that digital Mario that you see like hopping around that they really promote. Now you can see what they're going to start doing, and this is the start of something. Obviously, the Nintendo that I have with the Crank TV was like a huge thing. The NES, but like. See what they can do now is just like there's so many they could do like a Bowser's Castle, anything that's going to be like a big build, and again it's expensive. Like this question mark box I think is like $200 Canadian. It hasn't released yet. You can start pre-ordering, but like the detail that goes in, it's hard not to buy. The one thing I'll say, I'm pretty sure there's no question mark blocks in Mario 64.
No, I don't think so.
So
to think of it,
I remember actually.
So that's the one weird thing about this build is you're pulling out of the question mark box. You're pulling out Super Mario 64 theme stuff.
Yeah.
I'm most positive there was no question mark blocks. They had like the exclamation red boxes and stuff like that, but they didn't have the question mark box. So it's interesting. It's an interesting choice, but I mean, who doesn't love Super Mario 64?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to be nitpicky. It's just kind of funny that happened when that block wasn't in the game. So, but super cool feature, and like the way Lego teased it, and again, good marketing on their part. And I want it really bad. I don't know if I'm going to go out and get it right away, but it's just something that you can display. Even just the box that you see on the left, even if you just left the box displayed without the Super Mario 64 stuff out, it's iconic, man. Like I love it.
They do a pretty good job on that, on those. Yeah, I mean a lot of the like you were saying, like the like the Darth Vader and the like the Star Wars ones, and like the Infinity Gauntlet that you got there. It's just awesome.
The amount of detail that's into these things, man. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely like Draven 1985 here joined the chat, and he says, that looks baller. It definitely does. It like the amounts of not only the licenses that Lego has now compared to what it used to, with all these different franchises. And Nintendo's not really a player with licensing out its brand names, but they have a really good reputation with Lego and bringing out all their awesome things. I'm sure eventually we might see Legend of Zelda show up. I think it's going to spiral off.
Hyrule Castle, right there.
There you go.
Like that'd be insane. Or the Master Sword. All of a sudden you have a Master Sword, Lego Master Sword.
Yeah. The potential is there for so much.
Be all excited, Danny.
Donkey Kong. Make a Donkey Kong one. There you go.
There's so many franchises that they can spawn off and make some awesome Lego stuff with. It's just, are they going to bring it out? That's one thing. It's like, eventually I think we're going to start seeing that.
That'd be cool. And I was gonna say, if Draven, if I know he's in the chat, like if he hasn't seen the video of the question mark block, I would recommend just looking it up because it's super cool to see how that like pops out. There's like a little track and it just like everything pops out and folds out on the box. So like
crazy.
Just seeing like that, even that detail within the Lego to have like a mechanism that's gonna pop it out and fold out, super cool. So it's definitely worth it's like a 30-second video. So check it out. It's super cool.
It's definitely awesome. But guys, that is it for our show tonight. We've gone over about 16 minutes, but that's okay. But before we go,
all those nerd talk, boys.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's been a while since we've been able to jump on show. But Josh, where can these great audience of ours find you?
Oh, a few places. Twitch. I've been starting up Twitch and been grinding away at Twitch for the last little bit here and growing my audience. I've recently hit Twitch affiliate, so twitch.tv/CarrHero. And I believe Danny has that name at the top of my window there in the chat. So, and then a few other places. I have a Twitter and Instagram and a Facebook page for my staying indie loop pages. So that's where I kind of I run my Twitch information and any video game news. I try to cater a little bit to indie stuff because I don't think there's enough news for indie games and they need to be out there a little bit more. But any gaming news that kind of gets anyone excited on all those pages. So on Twitter, it's at Indie Loop, and same thing on Instagram. So and then staying Indie Loop on Facebook. So check me out and give me a follow if you don't. And if you like video game news and you want to catch me stream, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, guys. So check him out as well. You can find him on my channel. You can just hit him there and hit him with a follow. Rick, where can these lovely people find you?
You guys can find me on my Facebook page, Nerd Central. It's a page where we talk about movies, games, and collectibles, and daily I post videos and stuff and video trailers, and you can swing by there and check it out.
Yeah.
And get your friends, dogs, cats, get everybody to join the page.
Get the birds chirping outside. They might love something.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check him out as well. He has lots of great stuff. He keeps you up to date with the content. And at the end of the week, we bring it here to the show. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. It was awesome having you here as always.
Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us.
And don't forget, guys,
awesome.
Yeah, it was a pretty good show. Then don't forget, guys, hit that follow button here on the classic red box if you haven't done so already. Like that, it gets you, not only helps me out, but also helps you get notified when I go on live, whether it be for our awesome podcast show or all the other shows I do throughout the week. And of course, I'll be back again this Monday. Hopefully playing some more Sonic Colors Ultimate and playing some new Dreamcast games that I'm going to pick up tomorrow. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining me. And stick with us because we're going to raid another channel. And for everyone here, have a great night. See you later, guys.
Here, guys.